Coming to you from Studios 1162, Vantage Point starts right now.
Hey Eagle Nation, and welcome to Vantage Point.
Where we see you.
I'm Watson Barnes.
And I'm Rajani Atkinson. We know it's been a while, but we're back. Here's the latest news.
President Biden slammed Georgia's new voting restrictions, calling them 21st century Jim Crow, and urged Congress to pass election reform bills. In a statement last week, Biden called on Congress to pass the For the People Act, saying, "We have a moral and constitutional obligation to act." The bill would require states to offer same-day voting registration as well as 2 weeks of early voting, among other things. The House passed the bill earlier this month, but it faces an uphill battle in the Senate amid heavy Republican criticism of the bill. This week, Washington will open COVID-19 vaccine eligibility to those who qualify under phases 1B, tiers 3 and 4. This expansion will add about 2 million people to the roughly 3 million currently eligible for vaccine. Variants and ease restrictions are pushing up COVID-19 cases around the U.S. Florida, the state furthest along in lifting restrictions and welcoming tourists, has seen a rise in cases in the wake of spring breaks taking place across the country.
Earlier this month, Superintendent Denise Juneau and the school board announced that the transition to a new interim superintendent will happen on May 1st, 1 month earlier than expected. In December, Juneau announced her decision to leave the district by the end of June 2021. Dr. Brent Jones was hired as the interim superintendent in February. Jones is returning to Seattle Public Schools and is the former Seattle Public Schools Chief Equity, Partnership, and Engagement Officer and Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources. He is the father of Cleveland's senior Nia Jones. In school related news. Cleveland's 10th grade humanities classes will be hosting a mutual aid project to benefit Cleveland students and families. Items like laundry and dish detergent, hygiene items, and clothing are just a few of the items that will be available to CHS community. While today was the last day to drop off items, financial donations are still needed. Make your donations at the link below.
After a year of sitting on the sidelines, students are now able to get back in the game with the start of an altered sports season. And while athletes are excited to get back on the field, they are still having to play with COVID-19 guidelines. We sat down with Cleveland's athletic director, John Hughes, to find out what Eagles are doing to stay safe.
Every sport has specific guidelines they have to follow. There's limitations on, how many athletes can be like in the dugout for like softball. There's limitations on, whether or not there's fans, and so like there's just so many things that have to be done. Wear a mask, and so like everyone's wearing a mask while they're exercising, and then we have to have the sanitation station. So it's been a lot of work to like kind of make all that happen. But I'm really proud that our coaches have taken that on, and so have our student athletes, and everyone's following the rules. We've been very safe.
Here's Febly Abella talking about how she's been playing sports during COVID.
When we come in, we have to do like a whole COVID evaluation, like asking if we have had any symptoms or if we've been in contact with someone with COVID. There's like this certain entry and exit way that we have to follow. So we can only enter one way and exit one way. Whenever we have water breaks, we have to exit the gym. And then when we come back in, we have to put on hand sanitizer. And then before we leave the gym, like after practice, we have to sanitize everything down. Like where we've been seating and like some things that we have maybe touched, and then also like social distancing as well.
If you are planning to participate in any of the upcoming sports seasons, you can get a physical in the Teen Health Center. Call 206-263-2608 to schedule your appointment. April 8th will mark the end of quarter 3. Students should begin preparing now by turning in any missing assignments or late assignments. Quarter 3 is important because it is one of the last times students can pull their grades up by the end of the school year. If students are struggling, you should reach out to your advisory teacher or your counselor. Eagles, we have almost made it through the 7-week slog known as March Madness. We have 1 more week of school and then it's spring break. After that, we will only have 9 more weeks of school left. Hang in there, we are almost done.
There will be a supply distribution day on Wednesday, April 17th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the main parking lot. Reserve your library books now so you'll have something to read over spring break. Books will be waiting for you at the pickup. Yearbooks are still on sale, but the price has increased to $65. If you can't afford the full balance, payment plans are available, but all balances must be paid off by May 1st. If seniors need financial assistance, check with the school social worker, Trista Ibarra, to see if you qualify. All students are invited to this year's virtual youth resource fair on Wednesday, April 14th from 3:30 to 5 p.m. And the event is limited to those who are between the ages of 14 and 21. Youth Force intends to have 20 to 30 companies and organizations to participate and speak to teens about jobs and local opportunities. Sign up at the link below.
Well, that's it for this episode. It's been a pleasure for us to see you from this vantage point.
Until next time, I'm Rajani Atkinson.
And I'm Watson Barnes. Tune in tomorrow for our conversation with Principal Brilliant about schools reopening. It's an important message you don't want to miss.
Until then, stay fly, Eagles, and keep soaring on.